So I'm going to cover some dexterity stuff. Dexterity meaning just getting your fingers to do what you want them to do, right? Which is kind of a challenge, especially when you get towards the ring and the pinky finger. So with your hand and the structure of your hand, your index finger and your middle finger are pretty independent. So I can pretty much move those without anything. You might see the ring come up a little bit, but that pinky, you can't really do it by itself. The ring is always going to come with it. So putting this onto the fretboard is a bit of a challenge. So here's a couple just dexterity practices to help just kind of aim with your fingers and strengthening up your wrist a little bit. But once you start fretting notes, you'll feel some pain in your index or your fingertips. Partially just getting used to it. You'll build calluses over time. There's ways to fast track it. You can just take one finger at a time, just push really hard into the fret and just kind of dig into it. And that'll build up those calluses a little bit faster. You don't have to play anything. But here's a couple exercises that are really good. If you're a brand new beginner, just start with one finger. Start with your pointer finger and start moving it on each of the fret. Just kind of walking it up. And then try it on some different strings. So if you get that, or maybe it's really easy for you, try index and middle. Do sets of 2. Go index, middle. Maybe you could slide it up, index, middle, or I could do a cross strings. I could go index, middle, and go down a string, index, middle, and then just kind of walk that around. It's not going to sound super musical, but just practicing, moving your fingers around. So you can get that, then add the ring finger. Now you have 3. Got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Doesn't matter where you put it, you can do just in random spots. Right? So you can get that, then you add your pinky. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a bit of a challenge. So with the stretch and getting your pinky up there, your thumb positioning comes into play. So if my thumb is a little too far back behind, what you start to see is my fingers get really crunched up. So just because of my tendons in my hand, they're going to limit my range of motion. So what you want to do, for most things in guitar, chords aren't as important for this, but you want to bring that thumb up and then down. It's going to push your wrist forward a little bit, and then now you have this dragon claw looking thing. So it looks like a dragon hand, but that's the right posture. It's going to feel a little weird in your wrist at first, but you'll get used to it. But you want to stick your thumb at the back, kind of in the middle, and then wrap that hand around. So most of the time in guitar, our biggest stretch is just out of 4 frets. So if you can get index, middle, ring, and pinky all laid out at the same time, then you're in good shape. If you have smaller hands, you got to put a little more focus on where you put that thumb. Keep moving it up the neck or down until it feels comfortable so that you can get that pinky all in a row. Cool, once you get that, just start moving it. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. I can go up the string, 1, 2, 3, 4, or I can go, down the strings, 2, 3, 4, down to the next one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so you want to get pretty fast with this and try to get it real quick. Same thing for up. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. But if you can get that down, then you can start to change the pattern that you're doing. So we're just doing 1, 2, 3, and 4. You got different combinations. You might see some of these in scales or in melodies and songs. I might do 1, 3, 2, 4. Right, that could be one combination, then I would just move it. Sounds a little more sinister. Or you could do 2, 3, 1, 4. 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4. Or flip it, 1, 4, 2, 3. Just really any combination of these, because those patterns, you may encounter them in scales and stuff. But give that a try. Mess around with it. Just have fun. At this point, you're really early in your guitar learning, so just kind of play around. Just 5 minutes a day of this kind of stuff, and then after a couple weeks, it'll just start feeling more comfortable. And then later on, we'll apply that the 4-finger shape to some scales, and that's going to start getting you ready for doing songs and licks and stuff. But yeah, enjoy.